Let's solve a factored quadratic. So this here is, if you expand it out, you know it's going to be 2x squared, etc. So it's definitely going to be a parabola. Parabolas in general are in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are some numbers. The fact that a is positive, x times 2x is 2x squared, it means we have a happy face. When a is negative, we have a sad face. But we want to solve this. So the word solve means when y equals 0, we want to figure out where this parabola crosses the x-axis. So when y is 0, what is the x value in which we have the solution? This is called a x-intercept. It's called a solution or solutions. We're solving it. They're also called roots. So find the roots. So we have a y value of 0, and we know that something times something equals 0. So let's break this down and figure it out. X minus 2 equals 0. This is one possible solution, one possible root. This is basic algebra. We throw the negative 2 over, we get x equals 2. So this is a potential answer. But we also have another factor. These factors lead to roots, they lead to answers, they lead to solutions. Because we know that this, when this is 0, this factor times this factor, 0 times any other factor is 0. So 2x plus 1 equals 0. We want to make this factor 0. This is basic algebra. We throw the positive 1 over. We get 2x equals negative 1. We divide both sides by 2. We get negative a half. So let's draw this out here. What does this even mean? You have a nice x-axis. 0 is your center point. This is negative 1, but we have a nice root here, negative a half. So x equals negative a half, negative 0.5 is the same thing. And we have x equals 2. This is 1, this is 2. So this is another root. So by factoring, we can even identify the x-intercepts quite easily, and we know what the graph actually looks like. It actually looks like a parabola. It's a happy face that cuts through these roots. Let's try number 5. Now this particular quadratic is a bit different because instead of cutting through 2 different roots, we only have one root, one solution. So let's see what happens. So to solve, we could set y equals 0 because that's what we're trying to figure out, the x-intercept. And we're just going to copy this here. And algebraically, you are allowed to divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. 0 divided by 2 is equals to 0, so I'm not going to bother writing that. I'm just going to write 0. And we divide each term by 2, and we can factor. So this becomes x minus 3, x minus 3, and notice how we have the same factors. So essentially it's squared. Can you guess the x value in which this statement is true? Clearly x minus 3 equals 0. So when x equals 3, when this is 3, 3 minus 3 becomes 0 squared, which is still 0. So we solved the single root. We solved the single solution. X equals 3. Finally, question number 6. We're going to solve the x-intercept, which means set y equals 0 using algebra. We're allowed to take this term, this negative term, throw it over to make it positive. We're going to divide both sides by 3. And we're going to take the square root of both sides. Now remember, when you take the square root of something squared and it's a variable, you need to take the plus minus answer. So the square root of 4 is 2, but you need to take the plus minus square root of both sides, which is going to be plus minus 2. And now it's your turn.